What's up? John in the Middle here with another art critique, one Paul Gaugin. Paul Gaugin was a French painter working with oil, said to have influenced the likes of Picasso, Constantine Brunelleschi, Matisse, and a lot of other arts and crafts movement artists. A peer of Vincent van Gogh and patronized by Van Gogh's brother, Gaugin would go on to contribute a new take on color in painting during the late 1800s. Conceptually, his practice is said to have carved the way for primitivism. Primitivism is a mode of aesthetic idealization that either emulates or aspires to recreate primitive experiences. It is also defined as a philosophical doctrine that considers primitive people as more noble than civilized peoples, and was an offshoot of a nostalgia for a lost Eden or golden age. Here's my take. He traveled to distant lands to produce new works of art that are inspired by different people. And at the time, people that would be considered far more exotic. When you look at his work, he captures the facial expressions of BIPOC people so well, and for the time period, to me it makes sense, because a lot of the figures that he's painting that are of color, the face kind of suggests, like, it kind of looks like, why am I posing for this painting from this person that came here on a boat and speaks a different language and I've never seen them before, and they're asking me about my customs and my culture and our pottery and our daily practices and what we do, and like, I'm confused as to why I'm posing for this, is the look on a lot of the faces of his figures. But it makes total sense, especially considering the time period. It seems as though, like, at this time, to show up anywhere as a painter would be unusual or uncommon, no matter what part of the world or society, simply because of the technology it takes to produce painting, right? Just the materials alone. You know, in the 1800s, do you really have easy access to oil? Do you have easy access to brushes and canvas and the space to paint with these materials in a safe way? As time progressed, as it pertains to art, we realized, like, oh, we shouldn't be painting with these oils in small spaces with no windows, because it's really dangerous and unhealthy. So if you do paint with oils, it's more likely than not that you have space or resources to do it in a safe fashion, especially if you built a career on it to the degree that you're traveling to paint in the 1800s. The subjects in the paintings seem to be slightly confused by Gauguin's practice, or even possibly his presence. Remarkably captured and simplified. These paintings are gorgeous, and they're accurate, and they're appropriate, in my personal opinion, culturally. And again, technically, in my opinion, they're the start of a brand new way to relate to color in figurative painting. The colors are bright and vibrant, but they're not obsessed over the way that we see in forms of art or forms of fine art like European art. Everything is suggested. It's not necessarily literal. When you look at the sky or the background of a lot of the paintings, the paint is relying on texture more than just flat two-dimensional color. So you have this patchiness that works really, really well with the style in which the figures are painted. And it still gives enough contrast between, like I said, the background that can be patchy at times and these really sort of simply done skin textures, but also thoughtfully done. So it's not all one color. It's like 2 to 4 colors in the skin tones. And again, the way that it's painted, the textures are similar, but not exact. I like the choices that are being made in these paintings, taking calculated risks on the figures and the bold but simple risks on the backgrounds. You know, the several shapes that make up the sky and the ground or the plains with no lines, rendering, you know, nature backgrounds with no true stroke. It really makes it so that you have to depend heavily on the palette, on how you color things. And Gaugin really seems to have been a master of this. Although the look on the figures' faces does make me think that his presence bothered the natives of a place like French Polynesia. French Polynesia, the land that he traveled to start to paint a different kind of art, using a different kind of person, different kind of figure. I do love the authenticity captured in his figures, and I think it's rare in art, and for me it's appreciated. Ultimately, I think Gauguin's work is proof that our environment really shapes the artwork and can help archive culture through a lens that may be appreciated by an even wider audience. Really, really great work. And I love, again, how it captured the time, how it captured the mood. Really great stuff. Paul Gaugin. Check him out. Anyway, let me know what you think. Like, comment, share, repeat. Thanks. Talk to you in a bit. Peace.